we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
Ready. Fight, 60.
Now Patterson to start the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Second and 11. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw is Mills. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss. And another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game. And the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
22 needle. Ready.
1st and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Tackled by Jonathan Grenard.
not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll set up to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Jahan Dotson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd man to go with that run.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Mills. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 45-yard line. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Mills to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He's got the first down and more. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 18. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Pierce gets this one running right. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
They'll try and run for it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
On the set.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And so Cordell Patterson past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right, they saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Aaron Robinson. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took
touchdown Falcons. Jahan Dotson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 55 rushing yards, rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Another carry for Pierce, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back to the ground with Pierce, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Mills. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, 51 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3 scored.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. That's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Petrie picking up the sack on a safety blitz. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will do it for this 1st half. So we're at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
A gain of 3, second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
67 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Throwing, Mills.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
To throw, Mills.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Mills now.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Number 7. Ready? 3rd down, here's Patterson.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Ready. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Jahan Dotson, 67 yards. And the Falcons have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Pierce. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They go again with Pierce. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they'll try to throw here. Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. On the ground with a tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
I think this
this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Going for it with Pierce. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's got room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them more chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He will score. Touchdown, Texans.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, the Texans may have recovered. They did recover. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are 2 very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Texans on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Mills. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. And now here is another interception. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their own 25-yard line. They'll get things started with a carry by Pierce. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Mills. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Talk about two sides of the ball and cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. Their front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
After the sack on first down, Mills. And a nice pickup there as he'll get about 9, and that will lead us to a stoppage here at the 2-minute warning. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Mills. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line.
These guys off the edge are already tough to contain when they're protecting a stationary target. Ask them to hold their blocks when a runner is struggling to find a lane, often an impossible task. Regardless of the outcome on the scoreboard, that will be one of this game's biggest stops.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
On 1st and 10, Mills. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try to defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who want to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. But a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolute dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Atlanta, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home